Hey everybody, Donnie Green here with the Orinco truck that I drove in the Pet Cemetery movie. I'm here with Adam checking the truck out. Please tune in on Thursday nights for Adam's podcast. And by the way, nice hat, Adam.
Fucking Donnie Green. He has a nice hat because it's his. Bauer Green Logistics, him and his wife out of Florida. He is the truck driver in Pet Cemetery. This is his second sponsorship of the year. He's also a client of mine for Historically Haunted Book, and I got him his first gig in Bangor. Him and the truck, the child-killing truck, are going to be there. So they sponsor the show, Bauer Green Logistics, with him and his wife. Also, John Green Logistics Company. Thank you so much for sponsoring the show as well. Sponsor of the week this week, Thomas Patrick Gormley, the Archangel of the Paranormal. He does the Salem Paracon, which I was a speaker at last year, my first time ever speaking at a convention in Salem, Massachusetts. But he also does the Paracon, Connecticut's first Paracon, before the Warrens. Shh, don't tell Tony I said that. Fucking. So anyway, they sponsored the show this week. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate that. Also, I've had a rough week. A lot of bull stuff's been going on in my car, which is fine. But my dog passed away. My girlfriend's dog, but I've been with my girl for 6 years. Athena Sky, the bulldog. 9 years. Daddy's girl. We had to put her down Monday. It's been a rough day. So this show's dedicated to her, more or less. I love you, baby girl. She's a good dog, man. Bulldogs are awesome. So this Jägermeister shot coming up will be for her. So coming on next, I got my guest. They're really awesome. Paige Dalton, the historian. This chick knows her shit. I watch her on TikTok, and she's always like just uncovering shit, not just The Conjuring and Lizzie Borden and fucking blah blah blah. Not just shit you've seen every day, like shit you've never heard about. That's what real historians do. She's coming up. I met her through Larry Essler, and then when she joined with them. But then she recently joined with a client of mine as well, Cara Phillip from Hella Obscura. And she was on, she runs the Into the Obscura podcast. And that's also on Paraflix now. And she brought Paige along with her. So it went from like 3 chicks to like 2 chicks. So we're going to bring them on right now. Cara's awesome. She gave me a shout out when I had my picture of Dan Aykroyd because she met him too. She got to dance with him on stage though. So we'll talk about that. So we'll bring them on right now, guys. What's up, George? Checking in. Yes. Oh, Tom, appreciate you sponsoring the show. Athena, yeah, that's my girl. Appreciate you. George, what's up? You ready to buy some shit? All right. So anyway, we're going to bring them on right now into the Obscura podcast. We have historian Paige Dalton.
Hello.
Hey, Paige. And her partner in crime is Sarah Phillip. What's up? The Blue Sister.
Hi.
Oh,
Thanks
you crazy
for
cat.
having us,
Thanks for having us.
Adam,
Yes.
I'm so sorry about your doggy.
Oh, I didn't want to bring the show down. I love her to death. That's
No,
Oh.
Heather's pictures that she shared. What a cute patoot. Like, oh my goodness.
she was with her. She was the midwife-ish. Like she knew the girl that owned the bulldog's mother. She let her have the pick of the litter, so she watched her get born, and then she watched her leave. And that's 9 years. It's almost like it's like a kid. I mean, so
Yeah.
animals rule. We know that. And humans are okay,
do.
but animals are where it's at.
They do rule. In fact, mine, I'm supposed to be sitting right here because the light's better, but my dog is sitting here. So,
They get first
sorry,
dibs,
guys,
right?
you're having the bad lighting because Winnie's got the lighting.
Mm-hmm.
They're important.
I locked mine out of the room. I hate to say because they're just gonna bark. There's 3 of them. They're okay together.
Oh, that's awesome. Everybody's saying hello. Samai, she is a enchantress, a sorceress of sorts, selling her homemade. She's been all the Warren Con. She's another client of mine. She's very, very cool. Samai's Golden Pyramid. Check her out, guys. She does different like witch hunting kits, ghost hunting kits with like black salt and nails, all that stuff. Everybody's saying hello. So right off the bat, I want to go because I know Cara a little bit, and I want to start this way. I got ADD, so I can to go around. Paige, what could you started in all this goofy, crazy shit we call the paranormal and history and stuff? I mean, you weren't born with this,
Well, history has always it mainly started with history. My dad was, a military veteran and West Point graduate, and so I think the history came first because, as a kid, we would just travel around. All of our, family vacations were to battlefields and castles. And luckily, I liked that stuff and it intrigued me. And so just traveling around all of these places and being, told all the military strategy on these battlefields when you're there, like, I'm sure a lot of people find it boring, but I just listen, like I hang on to every single word. And so, but while going to these historic places, what I noticed was that my mom and I, like, and again, from elementary, my whole life, my mom and I would just kind of turn to each other every once in a while, be like, do you feel like really sad right now? Or like, is there, or she would start crying, or I would start crying, or one of us would get dizzy. And we would just kind of comment on it and not really, we never really talked a lot about ghosts. I guess maybe she mentioned them. She would be like, oh, yeah, your uncle's sitting in the chair over there, but just kind of,
Oh,
yeah, but the ghost, when I was a kid, right, we didn't have ghost shows. It was kind of taboo. And so it really wasn't until, the paranormal community really came out of the woodwork and on the television, and finally we started being like, wow, maybe we're onto something here, and maybe we're not totally crazy. And it makes sense that these historic sites would have leftover energy.
yeah.
And so that's always just been really, for me, the history is just everything. But then when you go to these places and you can still feel it there, there's just nothing better.
Dude, someone finally gets it. Yes, and there are people like me. Sorry, but it's true, because you can't really have one without the other. If you got a haunting all the way, it's like, well, who lived here? Why did they die a tragic way? Were they slaves? If you're in the South, like fucking yada yada yada. So the history intertwines with it, and sometimes you don't get the haunting, but you get a good fucking history, man. That's where it's at. That's pretty wild. That's cool.
Yeah.
What's up,
Even
Brandon?
if the ghosts aren't there, the stories are. We can keep those people alive, by telling their stories. And then the cool thing is sometimes we do see them.
Yes. And you got Kara, Miss Route 66, trying to keep the American legacy going.
Oh my God.
You want to talk about history?
It's all on your shoulders.
I guess. Okay. I got it. I can do it. So yeah, that's lately mine is so much more just like the history stuff, and I feel like not even the paranormal, but I feel like paranormal season's starting. So it's been a long winter of, all the other stuff. So now it's time to hop back more into the paranormal this summer.
Plus, not saying it's a dime a dozen, but everybody and their brother now, like you said, it was taboo. Ghostbusters was like cool, but it was kind of still taboo until like Ghost Hunters came out with tags. And then, of course, Tony started coming out with Annabelle. And then it's like, holy shit, there's dozens of weirdos. Now it's a dime a dozen. Everybody wants to go and have a pizza party and gummy bears and go to some old asylum and fucking walk around. What's my name? So there's some that are serious. There's some that are just kind of like, what color shirt do I got? Like, what the fuck is that going to do? Ask real questions. You know what I mean? So there's the ones that are the legit ones like us. And I'm not trying to knock anybody in chat, because you guys are cool too, because you're watching my show. But for the most part,
everybody else,
you're cool.
Betsy Brown says hello to Kara. Betsy, she rolls with Shane Pittman, the Searchers, all that.
Yeah.
Betsy's been watching my show. Betsy's a good shit. She still doesn't come down to see me, Miss King fan. I'm gonna come down.
You're so far away in Maine. You're so far away.
You ever been, either of you? You never been?
I've been, but ages ago, like ages.
Okay.
I've never been.
Like where? Like Portland?
That's wild. I don't even remember because I was so little. When I say ages ago, I mean ages ago.
Like what, we're still Massachusetts? I mean, what are you talking about?
Yes, it was. Well, I think I was staying in Massachusetts and we just drove up for the day. But Maine was a state at that point. It was its own independent state. It had a star on the flag.
Now it's a star in a pine tree because we're so fucking... We're so cool. No, that's cool. You guys ever come to Maine? I'd love to hook you up with a deal on the tour. I'd love to like show you guys a bunch of cool Stephen King shit. I know you're both in that.
That would be awesome.
Love Stephen King.
I want to get my clients out here at a movie filming site that it's in the works, but a place where he shot Graveyard Shift with the big killer rats. I want to do a Paracon there. It's an old mill, and I want to have all my clients show up. That's in the works.
That would be super cool.
That would be really
so. What do you guys got going in the works? You guys recently just kind of signed with Paraflix as of what, April 1st, right?
That was the first episode was April 2nd, the first episode of the season. So yeah, so we're a talk show now. And so we pre-record and we get to talk to our guests for a little while. pre-recorded is funny because we don't necessarily know. We always have to say we don't know what time. We know, like, if I'm doing something this Saturday, I could talk about it here because it's live. We have to say, well, it's going to be a while. We don't know, but it's pretty cool to get to talk with people for a little while and later kind of relive it a little bit. So we're going. So season 1 is all done, and I don't think it's all. Is it all out? I don't know. Oh my God.
It's not. I don't.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Your
My
thing.
husband, I think, is more on top of that than I am right now, like knowing what we're doing, like in this world.
We
And
wrapped season 1, and you can catch it on Paraflix. We just don't know how many episodes you can catch at the moment, but there are some there.
There are episodes there. And then season 2, we started filming, but we're gonna, work on that as kind of life allows, right? So that's, in the meantime, I think when we started this, we had a little bit more free time, and then we have less free time now. And so sometimes
we just gotta get together and nail out our second season, and then it will provide it to you guys. So, but that's the nice thing, is we don't have to do them live, so we can kind of record a couple if we need to in a night or something like that. So
I am obsessed because, like, so you're used to this live platform. I did that for a while, and it's wild to me to like have Tuesday nights free, and I, if we have a show, I know it, and we get to be ready for it instead of it just being like a grind. So I love that when we get to do an episode, we get to do an episode.
That's
and
cool.
I think that's so fun.
Yes.
That's cool about recording too, is as much as I love the audience, you kind of just focus on you're not going to, what I mean? You just, I get what you're saying.
It's intimate, and then it's like we really, and our guests have been awesome. You just great people in the paranormal community. Some you might know, some you might not, but highly recommend following all of them.
All of them. Yeah. And I think for me, like the fun adventure, sometimes it's like somebody that Paige is a little bit more friends with, and I'm like, who are you? And I get to know them. And sometimes it's somebody that's friends with both of us. So it's just a really cool, adventure for it.
Yeah. And I see your guest list, it's high and low. Like you get Darkness Dave, but then you got, your common folk like me. So you don't, you kind of mix it in, and it's all different shit instead of just every week. That's kind of neat. So people can check you out. I'm going to bring it on if I can here in a minute, but I want to bring on your Facebook page. But where can people get your content? Is it all over Facebook, YouTube?
Paraflix. So subscribe to Paraflix, the streaming service we have. If you use Obscure 25, you can have 25% off your subscription. And you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, but we don't really add too much to the YouTube. It's more like follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And a little bit on TikTok too. So you can definitely find us.
New stuff about your own show. Look at that. I bring this together. Paige is like, oh, we do.
Yeah, there is, but we don't, because we don't do live at all. Like, so we don't really use the YouTube. So I use my personal one. I have like my little sideshow with my friend, like telling stories about when he was a corrections officer. I use mine, but not the show.
I follow you both on TikTok and Instagram and shit. So I definitely, So that's cool. So you're into your own thing, but you're both very much alike, but you're both very much different, if that makes sense, I feel like, which is good. It's not bad. It kind of brings a flavor to the show as guests. You know what I mean? But you both gel, which is cool. So I got to ask you this. How the fuck did you guys meet? Through Larry or what?
I love it.
I guess technically you could say Larry. Yeah, I guess very technically. So we were
good for Larry's Eagle. We'll say that for
Larry. We will say Larry. Larry.
Well, that's all he needs is more now.
Also Paraflix. We were at Paracon, and they, so I had to go say hi to Larry because we were both on the panel. So we were kind of talking because of that. And
he was here with Dan and shit, his team, Dan Norvell and all them, right?
Yeah.
And Larry was like, I got to introduce you. And I don't know how you guys knew each other, but because
we're both on the panel, like literally that was it, like Facebook. And then at the Paracon, there were
you judge the ghosts.
Yes, I was judging everybody harshly that day. No, there was speakers all day at the Paracon, and then there was a panel that we were on. So kind of like 6 people on the panel for people to ask questions. And so we were both on the panel, and so was Nick Simons. Like that's how I got to like really like talking to some of them. And so then as the day kind of went on, I was like, there's this girl there that's going to be on his show. And then like we all went out to dinner later. And then, you know, like a nerd, I came home and I was like, I think we could be friends with her.
You guys made those little paper things in school. Yeah.
Do you think we could be friends? Check yes or no.
And I was like, well, I just met a celebrity because she was up on the stage and people. And I'm like, this lady wants to be my friend. Okay.
And then here we are. And then we enjoyed each other
on stage as a Blues Brother. That's pretty fucking impressive.
Bill Murray bought our local baseball team, like, you know, the minor leagues, and he's half owner. So tomorrow is opening night. So I'm hoping I meet Bill Murray in person now too. Fingers crossed he's there and I get to meet him. I was like, I'm going to hit
Paige, close your eyes, but Bill Murray's a Bears fan. Close your eyes, Paige. Bill Murray's a Bears fan. Paige is a Packers fan. What the fuck?
But interestingly, then our connection back to Bill Murray, we met in Woodstock, Illinois. So
that's interesting.
So all full
where
circle.
Groundhog Day was filmed.
Yeah. Full circle.
This is mind blowing now that we talk about it. Bill Murray, pretty much.
Bill is how we know each other. I mean, that's it. So I got to tell him that, you know, tomorrow when I meet him, when he's maybe there. Listen, Bill Murray.
Rachel King. What's going on, ladies? Appreciate
I love
Mary
that
Jo.
name, Flaunt and Haunt.
I love that a lot.
I'm following you.
Mary Jo Chudley and her and Rachel King. Rachel King sells candles and Mary does the haunt thing, so they do a thing together. You guys must have heard
like friends with both of them or whatever, but never knew about the Flaunt and Haunt. So maybe I'm not a good follower.
Really new. Which one are you? Speak your truth.
Sorry, guys, that I didn't know about that one.
Cool. I had no idea.
That's interesting. So why does he buy all these baseball teams is the question then. Why not basketball teams? Well, there's not really like minor league basketball teams, are there? So he does baseball teams. So yeah, that's our excitement.
For tomorrow night?
What?
Are there still tickets available for tomorrow night?
I don't know. We're season ticket holders now because we're those people. But here's the deal with season tickets, you know, in case anybody out there needs to know about the Joliet Slammers or cares. If you buy season tickets, you can save them up for things. So if we don't let's be honest, we are not going to most games. Let's be perfect.
You're not there every day.
There are 48 home games this season. So we're not going. But they let you save the tickets and you can use them. Like, so you can save them up for like a suite for your friends and family. Yeah. So we're probably going to do that a couple times. Let's be serious. I'm not going to 48 games.
Does Dan need to go tomorrow night?
I don't know.
Like, does he really ever need to go? Okay.
Does he? Probably not.
Don't worry. Bill Murray is like I just love him.
They say he could just like sporadically be at games. Like there's no guarantee he's there tomorrow either. No. It might be the Saturday game. I don't know.
We'll see him at some point.
I feel like
there's a documentary on Netflix. He just shows up at parties and shit, and makes people eggs and shit like that.
Like that's how he is. I would love if he'd visit me at work. I work in Joliet. Like he should just come hang out.
So bizarre.
Maybe go to lunch together. Like, you know.
How dope is that? This Kara on Facebook. No, just having lunch with Bill Murray, taking a selfie. Fucking no big deal.
I would just die. Like
how's your life?
Well, that's like who was it? Chevy Chase, you know, because he's in Chicago a lot too. And Chevy Chase was there was a viewing of Christmas Vacation around the holidays, and Chevy Chase was hosting it. And I was like, oh my God, I wish I could have gone to that. Like I don't know why I didn't. I wanted to, but
yeah. If that happens next year, let's make a point.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Those guys. Chicago is a cool city. It's a cool city. I'm gonna bring it back. I love the history here.
Mm-hmm.
Al Capone.
Have you been to St. Valentine's? Have you been to the St. Valentine's Day massacre shooting spot?
I have. Yes.
I think I have.
Really?
Yes. It's so, I mean, first of all, if you're anybody's in the Chicago area and you go to the Oven Grinder Pizza Company or whatever that place is called, amazing pizza, but it's right across the street. It's like one of the busier pizza places, one of the more famous ones in Chicago, I would probably say. Really good. And then so you go to that place, you got to wait probably like an hour and a half, and then just walk across the street to the massacre site, and there you go. There's a nice Chicago date for you. Oh, it's nothing. It's nothing. It's literally like a tiny lot of land, and there's like a parking lot behind it. So there's really nothing there, but you feel the energy, Oh,
See, I love Paige did not grow up here, so
No,
she actually like really appreciates Chicago.
yeah,
I grew up
I do
here.
things in Chicago.
So I'm like, yeah, that's a cool thing that's there, is what I hear.
Right. I know. We've got it.
Well, Paige,
we
you keep saying that. It's more than an empath with you. You're definitely a sensitive of sorts or something.
Yeah.
You pick up on that shit. It's not just an empath either.
There's, and like I said, like, I think I got it. My mom's very similar, although she would never admit that she's she's just, to her, that's just kind of normal. But if anything, I think it would almost freak her out if she knew she was like if I said, like, Mom, like you've got some sensitivity, but yeah, I think and that's the thing. It's like, I think even if I wanted to open it up more, I probably could. And like Carrie, you've talked about, it's like I think you kind of do too, but like almost like
I'm real good at shutting it off.
You can just shut it off.
I am like, we're not doing this today. And then, but I always say, like, when I have some free time in one day, I want to take like a class with one of our like friends to turn it back on, and to really like be able to do it a little bit more selectively instead of being like, I got no time for this. Even at work now, my new job, people are having like experiences and I'm like, damn it. Oh, I'm too busy and I don't have time for this. And it's a real bummer. Oh, Rob. Oh,
it's not Rob Johnson.
Disaster.
Rob, I have the Eastland disaster in a folder on my phone. I'm waiting to make the content because I am just like,
what the fuck is the Eastland disaster?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. Here we go. Yeah, good shit.
This is the big one in Chicago. It is.
And again, okay, so me not knowing, like, I pretend I know, or like I say I know, I do know Chicago well in a lot of ways, but I also don't know it well in a lot of ways. So Kara, help me out with this. The Eastland riverboat disaster. Maybe you don't know it, but I just saw online what that. Oh, it's the river. It's like on the Riverwalk, but there's like but isn't that called? What's that place called? Where anyway,
Rob might have to help us with this.
Yeah,
again, I'm not the historian.
Oh,
I hang out with historians.
Yeah. But the boat. So it was a big passenger cruise liner, and it was early 1900s, and there were a company, and I want to say General Electric, but I don't know if it was GE or not, was having a family picnic, for all of its employees and its and their families. Oh, God, I'm getting sick just talking about it. Then this is where I'm like, ooh, it's just hitting me all of a sudden. So they load this. God, I'm getting really emotional, and I've covered this so many times. Yeah, Chicago Riverwalk, right off Michigan Avenue Bridge. So all the families load on the ship or on the boat, and I want to say
it's not like 800 or something like that.
800 right now in my head.
I feel like 800. That's what
I was saying in my head. So thank you for confirming that.
Wow.
800-ish, 900 maybe. Wow. And it ended up
a lot of people on a boat on a river. I mean, the river's huge, don't get me wrong, but like that's a lot of people to put on.
Right. Well, and like this was before all, all the reforms. This was, so probably even on the boat, there wasn't a lot of regulation for safety there wasn't on the ship. And so
big cruise ships back then, like they do now,
no, right. As we've learned from boats in the past, right. Regulations can end up, or lack of safety regulations end up disastrous. So anyway, it ends up it's still tied to the dock, but ends up tipping into the water.
What? And
killing everybody like in the boat.
What?
My understanding, it was just like a too skinny boat, too much, and put too many people in it and just
and it just doop, and
Like,
you can
fucking capsized or whatever, just tips and they all just drown.
if you like, you can go on Google and look at the pictures. Eastland Riverboat disaster. It's a big boat, and it's just, but yeah, it was off balance or something. That's the research I'm really like got to delve into. Is like that's what I want to get, like what exactly happened, like minute by minute by minute. So that stay tuned. But so it ends up tipping, deaths all over the place, and it was like a few feet from the dock.
Like there was like no good reason that it's not like the middle of the ocean. It was just right there. And then they used, was it the Oriental Theater or what theater? I mean, it wasn't called that then. Was the makeshift morgue and just hauling these bodies in.
Yeah.
So
Is that theater?
What was that?
Is that theater still there?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, and so it's not the same name. It was a different kind of building or whatever. It wasn't necessarily a theater then.
Different now, right? So like the surrounding areas are supposed to be,
Harpo Studios. See,
that's
thanks,
fucking
Rob.
Oprah, right? Oprah, isn't that her studio?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oprah's Oprah. My mom used to watch Oprah and it said Harpo and it's Oprah backwards, right? Wow.
Yeah. So imagine like literally right downtown. And this is like what I get thinking in my head as like just like a bystander, or like the people, like how helpless you would feel, right? Like it's just happening there in the city and you're just like, you could touch the boat and you can't save them.
And most of them are your family and friends if they're all leaving in the river. It's not like it's, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, my fucking cousin's on there or whatever.
Well, I think that would be the interesting thing to really like, if delving into history, like really deep, to talk about like when if it's this family event, how many wiped out or how many kids maybe stayed on shore while the whole family went on, I think that would be devastating, but also just really interesting. Like, or is it just whole families wiped out? That would be the old Chicago Historical Museum. So I look forward to the post.
Stay tuned. That's one like I know that when I go down that rabbit hole, there's so much that I want to cover about it. So I've got it all, like I have all the pictures in my phone. I visited it. It's one of those places too. It's like I wouldn't really recommend ghost hunting at night, maybe. I mean, I don't know, again, like Chicago,
But like also it's the Riverwalk. So I don't know. Like I would question, maybe not feelings, but you should also be very aware of your surroundings. But I would question like any evidence, like what's, you're not turning off all the traffic, you're not turning off all the lights, you're not turning off all the sound. So what are you getting? And you can't ensure that there's not people right there. So I think that's a really
right.
Rob's all about it. Let's
I
go.
Know. No, I know. We called this like with Rob, Rob and some of us, we called this like kind of our summer to like, let's actually just go do things and go on adventures instead of like being so tied to home. So Rob is like my real life friend, not just Facebook friend.
Right. They know each other.
We know each other in real life.
Yes.
Yeah, we know each other in real life. And so spend a lot of time together. And so, like, we're like, we actually have to do stuff this year. Like, let's tell you to do stuff.
Well, that kind of brings me to my next question. Well, two-part question, but I'll start with the first part first. Yeah, I'm stoned now. So
or the first part second.
It's legal, man. I got a med card, so don't judge me.
It is in Illinois too.
Yeah, really? Shit. Why don't I there?
I'm on my second beer, so like whatever.
Oh, that a girl. I drove through Chicago twice with Chris Sanders, but he didn't stop because it was at nighttime. We're going to Iowa to go see a chick that he liked, and we went to the
How'd that work out?
House, and by the time we get, I didn't. Allie from the what was it? She was from the Most Haunted show or Most 28 Days Haunted or some shit. I think it doesn't matter. Anyway, so we went to the Axe Murder House in Vasilla, Iowa, and then by the time we get to Ohio, Corona hit. So when we got to Iowa, we were banned. We had to stay in the hotel for a fucking week and go back to Maine. But we went to in Iowa. We went to where Bonnie and Clyde get in a shootout. And Clyde's brother died. Went to that. I think it's Ames, Iowa. We went to where Paige, you're gonna like this. Well, you too, Kara. But I mean, let me see.
I might not. I mean, just Paige.
No, you will. No, you will. But you like history too. It's the first ever train robbery by horseback. Jesse James did it. And
I love
AIR, Iowa. They get the train thing still.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I want to go.
So I said, let's go to check out some fucking spots. We went to the bass player from Slipknot's grave in Des Moines, Iowa.
That's cool.
We did a bass player, but let's snap the bus. So we did some.
By the way, can I tell you my favorite movie of all time? Okay, two. I'm going to tell you my two favorite movies of all time, and you're going to.
Cheers.
The first one you can guess. Oh, here we go.
That was a lot.
Half it down my chin, for God's sake.
All right, the first one you can guess, Stephen
Okay.
King movie.
I was just gonna say, is it King? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
The Shining.
Okay. I was gonna say Shining. That's my fucking first
Right.
horror movie I've ever seen. I was 9. I couldn't
me
fucking
too.
believe it. I was hooked.
Me
Were
too.
you both 9?
I was either 8 or 9
Stop.
because
You're
my
a
brother,
fibber.
like, it was awful. I was like, what am I being forced to watch? But then of course, like, I was trauma bonded to it.
It
then
ain't no
so
fucking Disney movie.
started
but
reading the book, and like in the 6th grade I read The Shining. I have it upstairs. I meant to bring it down because
I hear the book's better.
the book is amazing. It's one of the books that is, I would say, better than the movie.
The
Although
hotel
movie's-
burns in the book. Doesn't
What?
freeze, right? The hotel burns at the end, doesn't freeze. Like, really?
it explodes.
I haven't read it yet.
Oh, I didn't know that because I've never read it.
Jack
I
does
know
not,
either,
by the way.
but I
yet.
heard that it burns at the end and doesn't freeze.
Yeah. So there's a big difference. But so that was my favorite book and movie. But then my second favorite movie is The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford.
That's a
But
good one.
I mean, I love Jesse James. So I would love when you said that. I was just like, oh.
Oh, have you been though? Because they get the train wheels
No.
still. Oh, they get the track still. And I get a picture. I'll send it to you, Messenger, or something at some point. And it says this is where Jesse James and his gang stole from the train on horseback.
Mm.
And of course, Maine's got shit too. Not to change the subject, but if you guys ever come to Maine and Bangor by King's House downtown, and you'll see it in the Stephen King It remake movie. You see the mural of it. Al Brady gets shot after Bonnie and Clyde died. He was America's Most Wanted. At 21, he gets shot in the streets by J. Edgar Hoover and the FBI. He's fucking buried at Mount Hope where they shot Pet Cemetery, where King was a reverend.
Wow.
He's buried in the Jewish section. Oh, yeah. It took me 2 hours to find that fucking headstone.
Oh.
Sometimes you can't give up.
Totally. That's
So, yeah,
Well,
I think you
Karen
did.
and I
Yeah,
had a hard time finding that. Actually, we did not have a hard time.
No,
That
we
was-
did not actually.
was-
That's what's unique.
That's crazy.
what? Whose grave? Harold Ramis?
No. I found that one all right. Like, but we went to, and I don't know the name of this cemetery or even
I
where it
totally
was,
forgot what it was.
But
I can tell you where it was. You can find it.
yeah. But we went to visit Chicago's first female police detective, and I was doing some research on
Ooh.
her, collabing with a friend who also is really into, women history. And so we were researching badass females, like lesser known ones. And so found this cop in Chicago, the first female police detective. And so I was like, I'm going to go visit her grave. And that's when Kara and I were kind of hitting it off. And so I was like, let's go grave hunting together, Kara, because it's normal.
Most girls go to the mall, to the beach. Karen and Paige go hand in hand to the cemetery.
I was like, I'm going to go look for a dead body. Do you want to come? And she's
I
like,
was like, I'm so in. Let's go.
So, but it was a huge cemetery and we had no idea where her plot was. And yet we somehow just ended up finding it within
Like not hard. That was the
was
like we're like,
weird.
wait, this is it. And it was big. Like I was like, at first I was like, we are never not ever. And then we like walked right to it. So
Yeah. But
I'd
I
either like to say we're great at tree identification or maybe like she helped us out. That's maybe possible.
yeah.
God.
Because it just, when you have a hard time finding those graves, man, those cemeteries, they get windy and confusing. And I
Yeah.
normally, the whatever you want to call sensitive in me or whatever, I usually can ask, like, okay, just point me in the right direction. Like Harold Ramis is pointing me to this grave. Like I can just kind of just go wander in that direction and stumble upon it. But that one was a big cemetery, and I was like, oh
Yeah.
But we
It's like real life Pokemon
There-
Go in a way, or like fucking, you're trying to find the heads. Where is it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a good thing I play Pokemon Go. So I mean, like that worked
You can-
really well for us in that situation.
Oh,
I
I'm taking you
didn't-
grave hunting next time. Then Karen knows the way.
Mhm.
For
I
those of you just tuning in, we're talking to Paige Dalton and Kara Phillip of Into the Obscure podcast. It's on Paraflix exclusively. We got a dog's butt in the background, so that's cool.
Lovely. Screenshot
Paige
that.
is a historian. Karen, they're both historians. They're both paranormal. They're both just funny chicks that know what's up in life. Kara, what say you as far as movies go?
Oh, I'm
Besides
the
the Blues
worst
Brothers.
at this. No, like I am the
You
worst.
gotta.
I watch TV on repeat. Like I'm terrible. That's been like the worst. That question's been the scourge of my life. People are like, "What's your favorite?" I'm like, "Oh no."
Oh, you're stressed about this.
It gives me anxiety because then people like judge, like they're like, "Oh," like so. Then I don't like to say anything because I kind of don't have favorites. Yes, that's who it was.
Thomas Patrick Gormley would know. He's a fucking genius at serial killers and all that police shit. Good for him. He probably looked
She
it up
was
too,
like,
but still.
she knew she would jujitsu these guys because they wouldn't give women weapons. Maybe
What?
they would give them they would give what BB guns, or they would give them something, maybe a knife. I'm trying to remember what now, but yeah. So she learned jujitsu, and so in her heels, jujitsu'd some guys to jail.
Dude, I'm so glad there's strong, independent women like you and my girl Heather and there's so many other girls, because girls get such a fucking lame rap at things. I hate that shit. It's such bullshit.
Oh, sorry. I don't know if I can. Sorry.
Well, they're good but they're girls. What the fuck does that mean? Because they don't have a penis? Get the fuck out of here. Like, what are people's problems? Dumb. Billy
Some
clubs?
say that's an advantage.
Me too.
I mean, I gotta say, like, for being a girl, I spent my day learning about tasers and the effects of tasers, so that's pretty cool.
That's badass.
That's
give
really
you, like
cool.
a whole report on that.
What are some of the worst effects of tasers?
Really, not too many, actually.
Oh, okay.
So you would think if you get tased, that's an automatic trip to the hospital. It isn't.
not.
Yeah, no, it is not. For males, a risk is testicular torsion, so don't get tased for fun, I guess. But no, not really. If you don't have like a fatal arrhythmia, like dysrhythmia within about 20 minutes, you're probably not gonna.
Have you ever, did you have to be tased?
No.
Oh.
I would not want to be.
Have you?
I would choose to not be tased, but no, I had to learn a lot about it today. And so
will you soil yourself? Will you poop your pants and shit? Will you lose bodily fluid?
Not necessarily. I don't think it's 5 seconds only. So it's 5 seconds. So in 5 seconds, you don't necessarily lose control of anything. But you might fall. So yeah, so depending on where those prongs land, it could be problematic. Like if it's in a joint or tendon or your eye or genitalia, you should probably go to the hospital.
Was it super bad when you got it in the forehead? Remember in the middle of the classroom?
That would be terrible because there's no meat. Better than your eyeball, though.
So then these cops really have to be trained to be a good shot, even with a taser.
Yes, and to be able to have, let's hope, to be able to have a taser, you do have to get tased, though.
Right, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Thank you, TikTok or something.
TikTok's great. I've seen people jumping out of cars where they're still running. Yeah, right.
Not me at 1:00. People getting tased.
I mean, I think we all got to watch that now.
YouTube must have dozens, I bet. Got to.
Tons.
All right, we got about a half hour to go. I want to talk another fun one. I usually do the same old, but it's always different answers. That's what's cool. Bucket list. Where are some places? Give me one for America and one for other than America, like the rest of the world. But like as far as bucket lists go, not so much just paranormal. Like maybe it's just, is it New Orleans or is it just like you always want to go to Texas because whatever the fuck, sentimental? What and where and why?
First, I'm gonna plug in my computer.
Okay, so for not even talking paranormal, that
it can be if you want.
That's a whole thing. So I always say for paranormal, if we're talking about that, for outside of the U.S., I say Pavalia Island because that is, I think honestly, that's a little bit like the urban exploring, a little bit, the paranormal. The question is it even really haunted, or is that just the story to keep people away? So I think, and then it's just off of Venice. So what a cool place. If I'm going to Pavalia Island, I'm in Venice anyway. So I think that all kind of works. So I always say Pavalia Island if it's not America.
Well, real quick before we go to that, because I'm my family from Calabria, which is by the boot. My mom always said we're kicking Sicily out of Italy because I'm half Italian. She's that island, is it the island where they bury the vampires with bricks in their mouths back in the day?
No, it's No, maybe somebody buried a vampire there with a brick in their mouth. I can't say that never happened. No, it became it became the quarantine island, basically. So there was kind of like an asylum situation and kind of like the quarantine island. It's where people, because Venice was such a traveling, thing, right? A port of everything, that people would come through there. So they would quarantine them there. And the plague. Plague. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. I was like, quarantine. The only word we've used for the past 4 years, the plague. Oh. So they would quarantine people there. And so there are definitely ghost stories associated with it. But honestly, I think for me, it's probably more like that urban exploring vibe. And I think I like my behind the walls and forbidden things. So that's also it's so forbidden that I think that's why I would choose it. In America, you know what, since you said now we could talk about sentimental or just places we love.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go back to New Orleans. It's my favorite place in the world, hang out in the French Quarter, and it's my favorite place in the world. So the last time I went was 2021. I brought my kid. He was 15 then. And every time I leave, you're like, oh, see you next time. And you don't know what next time's going to be, so it's we're back to everything being expensive and life is busy again. And, we went, it was just so that last trip was just a surprise, the universe being here you go. I had 5 days off in a row. The flight was maybe not even $100 each round trip because it was 2021 March. So I was like, what if we just go someplace? And he was 15, school didn't matter because it was 2021 and we went. And it was
coming back off the fucking COVID thing and shit was cheap.
Yeah. And it was still wear masks. You still wear your masks everywhere and even eye protection, but you could still exist a little bit. And it was March 2021. So that was the coolest. So I would just go back again because it's my favorite place.
Oh, that's the Salem of the West Coast, New Orleans. So much vampire lore and witch lore, voodoo lore.
And I still haven't been to Salem. So Salem is, I think, second on the list, but I think we're going for sentimentality.
You said you went to Massachusetts. Where you didn't go to Salem when you went?
Because I was a kid. I was little and it was not in my control. But you know what I can tell you? We went through Logan Airport and the new kids on the block passed through there a day before. And the fact that I was just 24 hours away from them in the same location really sustained me for a while. So,
no, you didn't see them?
No.
Oh.
He was hanging tough, though. She was hanging tough.
The air.
It was in the air because they were from Boston and they were in that airport 24 hours prior.
Oh my God.
That's all you needed when you're
you're fucking
8.
No shame in that. I love it.
And it was the new
fucking awesome.
No, I said they're going to be in town pretty soon here, in the next month or so. And just unabashedly at work where everybody's younger than me, I was like, so we go to New Kids or we all go? And everybody looked at me and they were like, and walked away. And I was like, oh.
I think it's the new senior citizens on the block at this point.
I was like, they are not New Kids, but they're going to be on our block. So let's go. So we'll see. I can still rally them. There's time.
Nothing wrong with that, girl. That's cool.
You're just gonna have to be that person there,
Yeah,
that's okay.
I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna drag people. They're gonna like it. It's fine. Yeah. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Positive. See, she's positive. Once you stay positive, it works.
Exactly.
So my girl Heather tuned in at the wrong time. Why are we tasing genitalia? That was earlier.
I mean, if you want to, Heather, you can.
Why
are Brandon goes? Gives you
every day we don't taste genitalia, we should wonder.
Uh-oh. Don't give her any ideas, Brandon, you fucker.
Brandon's Why isn't this in the news more of genitalia getting tased?
Oh, God. Come to Salem, we'll get you. Ooh, we do have a Salem Paracon. It's the middle of October. Dude, the town of Salem is sponsoring it.
In October? Shut up with how
Salem is sponsoring it.
Dude, the town of Salem is sponsoring it, bro. At Salem State University College.
So can we stay in a dorm or something?
Let's make this happen, please.
Because do you know how expensive hotel rooms are in Salem in October?
Right. You get one in Marblehead. You get one in Danvers, the town over. You don't get one in Salem. You get one in the 2 towns over.
That's what everybody does, no problem.
Seems kind of lame.
Paige, guess what's in Danvers? The world's oldest fruit tree. 1962. It's a pear tree planted by a pilgrim, and it still bears fucking fruit.
1692 then.
1692.
1962. I am unimpressed.
No.
Unimpressed.
Beatles reunion tour. No, 1692.
Oh, that's awesome.
I got a picture. It's got a big gate around it. Oh yeah, it's in Danvers, which used to be Salem Village. That's where Rebecca
Is it
Nurse
still
is.
very alive, or is it just kind of like hanging on and they call it alive? Let's be honest.
I wouldn't eat them, but I mean, they're kind of hanging off it. It's got a big fence around it and a little placard saying John Smith, the Pilgrim that was on the Mayflower. This was his farmland. He put seeds in, and it's the oldest civilized fruit tree on record. So it's pretty wild. I don't know if I'd eat it. I don't know if you're allowed to, but it does still spit it out a little bit.
You might
That's an old
be cursed
tree.
after you eat it.
Fuck. And of course,
That's
there's probably
an
ones
old
older, but
Santa
not
tree,
one
I'll
that
say.
we know, you know.
Mm-hmm. I just did a post about the Japanese cherry blossoms in DC being planted in the
Beautiful trees.
1800s. Yeah. 1900s. Early 1900s. Go read
What
my
do you
post.
girls rock out to for tunes?
I'm a historian, but I also have short-term memory.
Fucking dates are hard. 1896, 1692, Columbus Revolution Blue. What the fucking year is it? I don't know.
Yeah, right.
What do you guys rock out to for tunes? Like before an event or after a podcast, or get pumped up? What do you in the car? Besides new kids.
I listen to rap for the most part. Like the
I
next
do
concert.
too. Have you been staying on top of the Kendrick and Drake battle?
A little bit. I mean, I love Kendrick more than Drake, so Kendrick always wins. But yeah, no, like I mean, next concert is 21 Savage and JID. Like going to that. Like that's the one that like for sure. The new kids is just like a fun reminiscing thing. But like even though I'm making fun of it the whole time, like all they're gonna say, you know, the whole concert is gonna be 21, 21, 21. But like I'll be there and I'm gonna love every second.
Totally.
Because I saw JAD last year and I really am going for JAD. It's even though it's 21 Savage's tour. But yeah, that's like what I listen to. I think that's a growing up in Chicago thing, I think. Grew up listening to B96. Like that was our station.
My sister liked Joey. Was it Joey?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's how you know how old you are, is who you liked. It was definitely an age thing. So yeah, Joey was the young one, and so I was young. Like
I liked him because I was like 5. Yeah.
I don't know how old he was, but they always have the right stuff.
Be nice, George. Be nice.
They always have the right stuff.
Do you know who Sister Hazel is?
Yes.
They're playing like right by my house. I'm like, I should go to them because I feel like I listened to them in the 90s.
That sounds familiar.
Like,
Sister Hazel. That sounds familiar.
Right? Doesn't it sound familiar? I'm gonna go because it's like a tiny little venue. So
what venue?
It's like at the Park District.
Oh, even better. If you could like sneak one of those for somebody like that is fun to see.
Yeah, it's like they have like a nice pavilion and everything, you know,
that's
for
awesome.
concerts.
Small is better.
It's like 5 minutes from my house.
You should absolutely.
Yeah. So I think
your kids are the best concert buddies.
And then I'm like, it was so cool, guys. I went to a concert tonight.
Yeah, no, for real. I also, my poor child, I am making him, I mean, he's 18. I'm making him come to me with various concerts this year just so he can say he saw him. Santana and Counting Crows. I want to go to Counting Crows, but I'm like, you got to see Santana live and you can say you did. Like, you got to do that, right? And then there's the Outlaw tour and coming through is like Bob Dylan, Willie Nelson, like all these guys. And I'm like, he's like, oh, really? I was like, no. First we have to go, period. But also like you are going to appreciate so much one day being like, I saw them live. So we're doing that this year too. Like he's definitely my concert buddy. I hope he doesn't get sick of that.
What a cool mom.
Just keep buying the tickets.
He needs to liking it.
Yeah.
So
my middle wants to go to a concert with me. I have 3 boys. So the middle, that's the one he's like, I want to go to a concert, but he's also afraid of like big crowds, like doesn't like them. So perfect.
Right there.
And then I'll brush up. I'll get out some Spotify and listen to some Sister Hazel because it sounds familiar. But no, that's normally
every concert.
I want to go to Chicago, and Kara, maybe you can come with me because this is what we do.
I already committed.
Weird thing. Karen, it's like weird thing. You're coming. All right. And but like, how do you feel about this? I want to go to like a rave or a club. Like I like EDM. I want to dance.
I don't know if that's normally what I pick, but I'll do it because I'll do pretty much anything.
Well, we can go to a club that plays rap music too, you know.
Yeah,
yeah.
I would.
don't
I
dance with
totally would.
anybody, just myself. You know what I mean? Like, just
We
wanna
could
go
do that. Yeah, we could do that. We'll stay at the Congress. I just made this perfect. So the Congress is like a
That's our
haunted,
like,
but also
that's our
historic.
overlook or our Stanley.
Oh.
Yeah. So we keep saying like, hey, we got to go one of these days. Like we'll spend the, ask Charisse, will she come dancing with us? Have her come up. So Charisse Williams has already committed to one day spending the night with us at the Congress.
Yep.
So we're going to go to the Congress and that's what we'll do. But then in the meantime,
Yes.
go to a club and
Okay,
then come
great.
back and
All
stay at
right.
the Congress.
That works. All right. That
Chicago
works.
must be lit all the time. There must be almost so much shit to do with that in Chicago. God damn.
Yeah,
What a
no, there
beautiful city.
literally is always something to do. You just don't, after you live here, you don't want to do it. But yeah, the moment you decide you want to, it's there.
Well,
that's pretty cool.
But I grew up here, so I take it for granted.
Like
I'm
Michigan,
"Ugh, this
man. I'd love to go
stupid
just touch
city."
it.
you'd like to go where?
What about, what is it? They call it Bubble Creek, where they used to dump all the fat from the is it, they call it Bubble Creek or something, where like by where H.H. Holmes' murder hotel was? There's like a creek where they used to dump all the cattles and shit. They used to dump it in the
I've
water
heard
and
of that.
bubble.
Is that just like back of the yards? Probably.
I forget
I
where.
don't
I read
know.
up
I
on it a long
haven't heard
time
of
ago.
this.
I've heard of
all the
this.
butcher shops would dump their dead cows and shit in there, and the water would fester and bubble. Bubbly Creek. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I heard of that in Chicago.
So where, Rob? Then where is it?
Rob should probably go with us to this night too.
You're only giving half of the answer.
All right.
You
So
like chocolate, half
the
vanilla.
South
Man.
Fork. Okay, this does make sense. This is reasonable from the slaughterhouses. Yeah, so like back of the yards ish. It's the nickname given to the South Fork of the South Branch of the Chicago River. It runs entirely within the city of Chicago. So yeah, so they had to So back of the yards was a neighborhood.
like I don't know what any of this means.
Yeah.
No
so
shit.
back of the
I read
yards was
about
a
that.
neighborhood.
Yeah,
there was the slaughterhouses in Chicago.
and they dumped the fat.
And
And
so that's like
yes.
like this. That's like
I didn't
down,
know the
more like
name.
the salt shed and stuff.
Okay,
So,
but
the back of the yards is a neighborhood. You don't really hear that anymore. They don't really use it. That's older. That's it
Around
shifted.
the World
More
Fair
like
time. H.H. Holmes,
more like
1898 and shit.
Inglewoody now.
So Adam, that's the Congress Hotel was built for the World's Fair.
Oh,
And
stop
H.H.
it.
Holmes used to hang out in the lobby and like pick up some of his victims, just like hanging out in the lobby. And as they would walk back from the fair, then he would take them back to the castle and then apparently to bubbly.
So back of the yards. So they would kill. I mean, it was the Union Stockyards. Thank you, Rob, for the specification. So Chicago still is such a railway hub that's
number one in the U.S.
Yeah.
So the cows come here and you kill them and then they, things go where they got to go. So then you got to dump everything, right? So the Chicago River, we all know, is the only reversed river.
Yep.
So that was part of it being disgusting.
Oh.
So there's a North Fork and a South Fork. And so the South is the one that we more like frequently see and we, are part of is the city. But the North Fork, like Goose Island is off of like more the North Fork, a brewery. More, I was like, I'm going to tie it back into something that we're, here for. So, so the river was so disgusting from everything they did. So dumping the fat, dumping, just everything.
Yeah.
And it would run into Lake Michigan. And so to this day, you still see when you look off of the beach, the beaches and the shore, you still see the water collection, where we get our water. So our water, the coveted Chicago Lake Michigan water, I don't have it where I live. When I moved in, before we bought the house, we asked people in the neighborhood, what kind of water you got? And they said city water. So we said, oh, okay, cool. Because Chicago water is the best water, the best tap water there is for real. And so we're like, that's fantastic. We grew up on Chicago water. Like, this is great. We moved in and it's like well water, just municipal well water. So it's disgusting. But so the water gets pulled not far offshore, comes in and feeds all these communities, their water, and all of that disgustingness was just streaming into the lake. So they had to do something about it. So they reversed. They reversed the Chicago River, and so it's
a
the only
crazy
reversed
engineering
river.
feat.
Yeah, it's a big
I've never
deal
heard
that
of
they
that.
did this.
I've never heard of
And
that.
so now it outflows and goes that way instead of into the lake, which is
Because of that
great.
reason. Wow.
Yeah, and so it still does. Like, it wasn't just like for a couple days they did it. Like after the earthquake, like the New Madrid earthquake down south, that reversed the Mississippi for a little minute, but
Natural.
that was just
for instance.
temporary. But this was a permanent reversal of a river, and it still is reversed. So it's
That's
still,
cool.
you know, coming from Lake Michigan. So it's a big
Yeah.
deal, and it's because it was so disgusting. That's
I
how
knew
they
it was
kept the
because
lake
of
from
the
being so
health stuff,
disgusting.
but Kara, I never thought about the bubbly fat stuff.
Yeah, just everything. It was
Ooh.
everything that was being dumped in, and then our water things are right offshore, and so they had to fix that. And I will say, even in my lifetime, I think it's the zebra mussels, like not anything else, but the lake is a lot clearer and cleaner than when I was little,
Huh.
like through conservation efforts. But also, I think the zebra mussels
What are
artificially
zebra
cleaning it.
mussels?
The invasive. See, there's things I know. It's just not the history necessarily. Zebra mussels are invasive, so they come in the bilge tanks and everything, right, and come on all the ships because we are
Ah.
connected to the ocean and all the way through. So zebra mussels are little invasive guys that really coat things, and they really clean the water. Yeah, so they're shelled little mussels, so they really make the water clearer. So it's a lot clearer even than when I was little.
Wow.
Like, it's a lot cleaner.
Nature does clean itself up. It seems to heal itself over time.
Except they're invasive, so it's terrible.
Oh, they're invasive. You said that. That's right. Yeah, that's
But
right.
it does look nicer. I mean, like, so when you walk along the lakeshore, you can look down and see down for a little while in the water, and that was not true when I was little.
See, now we can see the skeletons of the dead cows.
Yeah.
But
not actually in the river though, because that's flowing out and it's still the river.
Right. No,
the river, it's a huge river. I mean, like, it's actually amazing that they did reverse it and everything, because it is huge.
Wild.
It's tons of water flowing. It's pretty wide. You know, it's a big, like, it looks like a canal now. Like, if you look at it now, the North Fork is interesting because it still looks like a river. Like, was it last year? There was the big giant snapping turtle that everyone lost their minds about because he's a huge snapping turtle. And it just kind of reminds you that it's an actual river. But yeah, like on the north side, you see actual river.
People are like, what's a turtle doing in the city?
Why is it there? But yeah, and then like the North Fork looks like a river, and that's nifty. The South Fork doesn't.
Did you hear about the rat hole?
Yes, that was a big deal. It's finally gone.
Did you hear
though.
about that, Adam? Did that get like you?
I haven't heard of that. What was it?
Hole.
In a manhole or a rat hole?
A rat hole.
How did it get there? Do you know?
So they were just like paving, I think probably like a machine, I think, you know, somebody watching, correct me if I'm wrong, but like probably just a machine paving, and there was a dead rat. And so it like paved the rat into it, like the rat imprint. And our rats are not little, right? Like, it's not just like a cute little baby pet rat. I mean, they're animals, their whole thing. So it paved it in, and somebody discovered this. At one point, I think the city tried like haphazardly to kind of fill it in, and it didn't work, and people kind of uncovered it. So it became, of course, like its own meme, you know,
it's
this rat
everywhere
hole.
on social media. I feel
like it was this big, huge deal, like the rat hole. And it was just, you could see the imprint of a rat, like actually in there, just like, it clearly died, you know, in this operation. Wow. And so very sadly, they very recently, I think within the last couple of weeks, just like took out that pavement. They weren't just like, oh, we're going to patch it and fill it. Like, that didn't work last time. I think right away, like the city filled it, and people were like, no, thank you, and took the cement out, you know. No, they actually like cut out and got rid of it and repaved it. So the rat hole is officially gone. I hope somebody puts a monument up. I think that was a really cool thing that we got to have for a little while.
I was genuinely really sad when it was like a collective, like, oh,
like, why would you do it? Like, it was a nice.
Almost like a monument
about it.
It was like a monument almost for this rat. Do you know what I mean? It was like a tribute.
He didn't live in vain, this rat, you know, and we all remember him.
People.
So yeah, no, that was like a whole.
You name him?
No, I don't think there was a name. We had there's a name that giant turtle has a name, and I forgot the giant turtle's name.
You know, your last two stories about rats and turtles? It sounds like the Ninja Turtles, Splinter and the Ninja Turtles.
There was an alligator that we had for a little while.
Rock steady, right?
Oh, that's right.
And he was named Chance. I think Chance the Snapper is what they went with.
Chance the
Who
Snapper.
gets the remnants of the rabbit hole?
Because it was who got. Unfortunately, I think nobody. The city, just some dumpster. Just
yeah. That
people don't have fun
who
anymore.
knows?
Brandon
Maybe
Golding from Viper
seriously.
Paranormal. He's been to Lake Michigan once. First time he experienced
first time I experienced my eyes freezing. Yeah, that's winter in Chicago.
Donating stars, Brandon. Appreciate you.
Yeah, Brandon, we do really appreciate the spring and the summer here.
We love it. The city just comes alive in the spring and summer because it's so damn cold.
Oh man. I got to get there. I bought, like I said, I went over the Ohio River and I started to the right. We didn't get to go to Soldier Field enough, than Wrigley Field or the Buckingham Palace fucking fountain from
Fountain.
Yeah, no, like Chicago in the summer. Yeah, Chicago in the summer. Everybody, because it's been a long damn winter, everybody just like comes alive, and it's just like fun in this. I think it's fun.
Like, I go down every other weekend. My son's in the Chicago Youth Symphony Orchestra right on Michigan Avenue and like the Fine Arts Building. So like that in itself, I go into this historic building, every other weekend, and it's amazing. But just being right there, it's like right in front of Buckingham Fountain, and it is just like you're walking in the past. And then it's the coolest city in the world. It really is.
It really is, dude. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I love Chi-Town. I feel like I was born there. I feel like I died in the Chicago fire or something, and I'm reincarnated.
Maybe you did.
Think about it. I'm in New England, born and raised Maine. Everybody was rooting for the Patriots in '86, and I was rooting for Fridge and the Bears and Sweetness. And ever since then, I've been hooked. White Sox, and you name it. I'm not even just that, just St. Valentine's Day Massacre we talked about earlier. Something about it, man. Cities are cool, and Chicago's up there with Boston and New York. Fucking right. We're at the end of the show, but we can go a bit longer if you girls don't mind. Like another 10 minutes. I usually end the show with having my guests ask me a question. You guys got a question for me at all, singly or together or whatever? Something fun, something dumb?
Oh, boy.
Pause.
The funny thing is, we have a show.
We want to make it.
We have a show that we ask people questions, and we're both like, "Question? What are you talking about?"
You weren't really in that mode. I usually shock people that go, "I gotta ask you a question." I go, "Yeah, you play host for a fucking thing. It's fun."
I like it. I mean, it's getting me thinking. Like, what do I want to know?
Paige always asks the first question, so she has to ask.
I do not. You do.
You ask the first question. I introduce, and you ask the first question.
Is that true? We gotta go back and see now. It is true.
So,
Kara.
She asks more like thoughtful questions. I'm like, let's just hang out and listen to you talk.
We're a good balance.
And like she actually,
I like make our guests cry.
And then I start listening. I just like listen. I'm like, that's a good question. Like I feel like sometimes I'm watching the show. I'm like, that's great.
In case you didn't know, folks, too, Kara's rocking a new haircut today, guys.
A little bit. It's a little shorter.
I'm trying to copy her right now.
You might be like Paula Abdul or something. All I can think about is 80s and 90s music now.
I'm jealous. It looks so fresh. It looks so nice. We do look like twinsies sometimes.
A little bit.
Okay, can I ask my question then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I surrender my one question to you.
Why are you so into history? What got you into history?
See, I've asked this.
You know what's funny? That's one of the only courses I really
did I ask this already, Kara?
No, I mean I've asked it in the past, so it's a fantastic question. It's a great question.
I'm like, did I already ask you this tonight? Sorry.
No.
I guess probably the same reason you guys are. It's just it's one of those things where it's like every time you find the answer to something, it leads to 3 more questions. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of those things where no one can say, I'm a historian. I'm an expert historian. Like, that's bullshit because there's new shit getting uncovered every day. So I like being the first one. Like, no big deal where I live. I live right between Mount Katahdin, Moosehead Lake, Maine. It's right at the end of the Appalachian Trail, which starts in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. And ends or starts in Maine. But I'm 45 minutes from that. And then I'm 45 minutes from Bangor, the Queen City of the East, lumberjack capital of the world, Paul Bunyan's birthplace, Stephen King's house. And it takes me literally an hour to get to a stop sign. I digress, though. Literally, or like where I live is East Bumfuck. There's like 1,200 people in my town. That's no shit. There's not a red light. I'm surprised I got Wi-Fi. The squirrels are running right now in the cage, beating me Wi-Fi. So I feel like And I like it because I look around me, and what I'm saying is because 35 minutes that way at Elephant Mountain, a B-52 bomber crashed in 1963, and 8 pilots from Massachusetts died, and the fucking plane's still there. I got it on my YouTube channel.
Oh my God.
Ghost Center. There's fuel lodges there. There's tires. There's fucking remnants and Atlas Obscura. And I went, and it's free. No one goes there. And I just sat there, walked around, and talked. And I tell you, Paige, you probably pass out. I had some goosebumps. I tell you. Some tragedy happened. Dug a hole in this mountain, and took them 2 days to get the road built to save 2 of the pilots. They got frostbite because there was no road going to this Elephant Mountain. It's no shit.
Though.
Yes, they made it. There's a big placard there next to the plane that says the pilots' names and shit. And it's something about it, man. I guess people sit at home and they watch, The Bachelor and all this bullshit. And I watch wrestling, so I got a guilty pleasure too. But at the same time, man, I'd rather be out, like Kara said, go out and find new things. Go find the lady that was the first police officer in Chicago where she's buried. Go find H.H. Holmes' birth house in Gilmington, New Hampshire. I've been there. You can check that out. He was born in New Hampshire, born and bred. His parents are buried in the same town. I've been to his parents' gravesite. Dude, they got a Mudgett Road. His last name is Mudgett. So then he goes to Chicago. Then I've been to his grave in Hollywood Cemetery in Pennsylvania when I went to look at the Night of the Living Dead filming sites in Yeadon, Pennsylvania. Yeadon is where the cemetery is, but Evans City is where the Night of the Living Dead was filmed. We stopped in Yeadon, saw H.H. Holmes' grave and shit. I digress. Just history is gives me a just fucking orgasm. I love it, dude. I just can't get enough. I sit there and binge watch documentaries it's fucking. I just got to know more. And I think it's a lost art. And I think people are coming around to it. And I think things need to be remembered more than just The Conjuring and fucking. I'm so sick of hearing about The Conjuring and Lizzie Borden and fucking. I get it. But there's 90,000 people that died. What I was getting to was ADHD. So what I was getting to was I drove to this little township, this Indian township not far from me, which is Indians, natives. And there's a grave there of some dude that was on the bomb squad that got killed in a bomb accident. And I'm not trying to laugh, but it's just whoa. So I got a selfie with his tombstone, So I thought this guy needs to be remembered. So I shared it. And right?
I have a veteran.
More story long.
Yeah. I love telling the story. It sounds like you also just telling the stories that don't normally get told. And you're right. The Conjuring. Yeah. Everybody's covering that. It's completely oversaturated, and
it's a little too much. Yeah.
When there's so many other stories to be told. And I just like going to cemeteries sometimes and picking one headstone and then researching them because I'm a weirdo like that.
I love that.
I went to one where the kid died the same year, and I looked it up, and she died of not scoliosis, but she had something back in 1840. She died the same day, Ezra or something. And I went to her grave, and every time I go there, I put a penny head up. You leave a little gift, a little token. I went to in New Hampshire, in Moultonborough. There's the world's oldest convenience store. They still sell pickles out of a wooden jar. In the same town, Claude Rains is buried. He played the Invisible Man in the 1930 silent film. So I went to his grave. You know what I mean? And you leave stuff, and there's no one that goes there because it's not.
Yeah.
I've been at Lorraine
Conjuring House.
That's great, but there's a million people that need to be remembered. You guys know that, Kara. It's not about me, but that's a long story short. That's a great question. I love my history. It's good shit. What's 10 plus 10? Who cares, man? I can tell you who died in 1942, though. You know what I mean? So, in Bradford, 2 towns from me, it's a birthplace of chewing gum. They first sold commercial spruce gum in 1833. They sold it in Portland from Bradford. It says the home of spruce gum, first commercialized chewing. So little shit, right?
First McDonald's by me.
Balla. That's what I'm talking about, Ray Kroc.
Planes.
Yes.
Not Day Planes like me who came from Texas. I'm like, Day Planes. I was like,
that's where you're
why
from.
Do they not know how to pronounce this?
That's where you're from, Texas. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The Alamo. What the fuck?
Oh, the Alamo, man. I know. I've been there. It's awesome.
So before we go, I'm going to ask you both another serious question, and obviously take your time, do whatever. But where do you guys see yourself this time next year? Do you see yourself more publicized with a show, maybe doing T-shirt stickers, doing conventions, public speaking?
Okay, so I don't even have to say a year from now. At the beginning of June, I'm speaking. Couldn't tell you a little bit what I might say. So if Paige is coming, I'm going to drag her on stage and we'll do it together. But speaking at Spirits in the Spring, Nick Sarlo's thing, I have not gotten a hotel room or anything. So
You're gonna start sharing that as your agent.
We're really one day at a timing there.
I think that's coming up soon now too.
It's really soon.
Right?
It is the 9th of May, and this is happening. I think
No, not May. Today's the 9th of May.
Well, today is the 9th of May, and we are going to be there like June 1st-ish.
Oh shit.
Well,
yeah, Nick's putting that on. I'm
prepared.
gonna share that. I'm gonna start sharing the shit out of that. Yeah, Nick's
so Spirits in the Spring. It's at Broadhead Manor. I'm so excited, but you wouldn't know it by my degree of preparation. Billy
Wolfer runs that page.
So that's what I'll be doing less than a year from now, and really less than a year from now, a couple weeks, and time has escaped me. So a year from now, I don't know. So this whole
you seem like you're open to anything. If someone said come to this event, if they were like
pretty much
Salem is calling. If
Salem is calling, so like let's discuss hotels, let's discuss when that is. I'm super open to like anything fun, especially someplace I haven't been. This whole new job thing so I work at a jail now. It's really cool. It's totally my dream job, but it's a lot of a job. So now I'm like there like at least 50 hours a week. So I went from being like having all this time. I used to work 3 12-hour shifts a week. So I was like, hey, let's do all the paranormal things. I'm bored. I am the opposite of that now. Like I told PJ, I was like, it's like I'm overrunning my headlights all the time, and I love it. I love it so much. So I can't even complain. But like the thought of doing things, like I haven't even gotten a hotel room for Spirits in the Spring. So, that's why I say like a year from now, what am I going to do? I don't know. Hopefully start to, catch up to the new job and have time to do all the fun stuff. That's a year from now.
Perfect answer.
And also less than a year from now, I got to say before like I run out of time, Rob Johnson, who has been helping us out with the Chicago history today, one of my best friends, it is his birthday tomorrow. So let's all say happy birthday, Rob.
Happy birthday. Rob's my friend on Facebook too. Happy birthday, Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
Everybody go follow Rob and wish him a happy
go follow Rob. Check out his photography.
Yes, photography.
So his photography is amazing.
And if you guys want Kara for anything, hit up her booking agent, which is me. Hit me up. And by the way,
and we'll
Kara,
talk.
Give me any appointments you want. I have a calendar for I'll keep track of your shit for you. If you're like, what am I doing May 3rd or whatever?
I got to work on keeping track of my own shit. So
you paid me for a reason, right? I mean, I'm here,
It's true. So we could talk about Salem.
Yeah, and everything else too. I'll hook that up. I'll figure that out for you, and I'll let you know. But as far as the other shit goes, I'll keep track for you. And Paige, I'm open. If you need someone to help you be an agent, we can talk later at some point, probably tomorrow because I got to work early in the morning. But so what about you, Paige? What about you? You writing a book or doing anything like Kara?
Right now I'm working on I've got a crystal business, so please go follow the Serafina crystals. I've taken them to Paracons in the past. I wouldn't mind taking them to more in the future. And going, especially with Kara. Again, it's like a time thing. I'm a single mom of 3 boys. So it's just much more of a hobby right now and kind of fitting it in when I can. And so
you need a fucking medal for that alone. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Shit, girl.
So it's a lot, but we all got a lot on our plates and
Amen.
I'm just grateful to have met so many wonderful people. So I'm always open to, collaborating, getting together with anybody, going to Paracons, heading to Salem. Just a time.
I think there's a theme here, heading to Salem.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
You're not officially with me, so to speak, but you're with Kara, so whatever she runs, you run. So I got you covered for the most part, but whatever. But that's cool. You know what I mean? Like I said, you guys can be reached as far as conventions or anything goes right on Facebook. And of course, the podcast page. If you guys are interested in maybe being guests out there, then maybe reach out to Kara and Paige. And if you fit their criteria, maybe they'll throw you on. I'm due on at some point. We can just talk bullshit.
I know.
But yes, Thomas. We'll talk this weekend, brother. I'm home this weekend. I think I might work Saturday, but we'll talk. And of course, you're my client too, but you're running the show. And of course, my clients get deals from my other clients, so you guys will probably get a table at a discount. But we'll talk about B&Bs, all that good shit. We got a little bit of time to prepare. Kara's a last-minute action type of chick anyway, apparently. She only needs the last
apparently. No, this is so uncharacteristic. I am such a planner.
Like her. That's the and I'm depending on Kara for everything. And so I'm
just get a hold of Paige then, or what?
We're so quiet.
I don't know. Like, no, so okay, so literally one of my favorite things in life is planning. There's the trip isn't the fun thing, the planning the trip is the fun thing. Like all the structure, all the planning is my favorite. So this is like
to the T though.
Yeah.
Will you do detours and shit? Like, oh, well, let's go see that. I didn't know that. Or you just we gotta make time.
Oh yeah. Are you like a wanderer?
No, okay. So I do not, but if I buy tickets to something, we're gonna get to the ticketed thing, but I don't necessarily pack it. So we just gotta make it to the appointment, but I don't make a lot of appointments. So
like the world's
wandering is
small yarn 10 feet that way. Let's go check it out. Fuck it. 2 pictures, go.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's acceptable. Yeah, no, if I don't have to be like someplace till 6 o'clock and it's 2 o'clock, we got time. Let's check stuff out.
Actually, you're really good about being, let's go to some, like very impromptu. Like,
yeah. So I like to plan, but I also I like to make it fun. But yeah, so it's so uncharacteristic of me. Like I am such a planner. And like I have something planned for later in June that's pretty planned, like that I'm pretty like solid with. But this, I don't know. I think I'm just like, obviously we'll get there, right? Like obviously, and it'll be fine, I guess.
Bring some waters and some fucking snack mix and you'll be good.
I literally still have water in my car from my last trip, so I'll just have my water there. It's fine.
You just want to do a trip. You don't care where to what. You just want to get in the car and go. That's
like
cool.
Maybe. Yeah. No, actually, so then my next trip after that, it's later in June, and it's a little tiny plane flying down to Southern Illinois. So that's going to be its own adventure.
Well, that'd be a first for me. I've flown in planes, but not little dodo planes like fucking.
Like, I mean, I think I don't know how many people. It's not. No, it's like a little jet. Like it's a real plane.
Oh.
But it goes from O'Hare to Marion, Illinois. And so instead of driving 5.5+ hours,
Taylor Swift
fly. No, I think it's probably like Taylor Swift's plane, but less fancy and more.
Little bottle of Chardonnay on the left, and
but like it's pretty cheap,
man.
And honestly, by the time you drive down, like all that time, all that gas, all that everything, get on the damn little plane. So that'll be an adventure.
Fun,
nice.
Hopefully I survive,
There's no mountains to crash into in Illinois, at least.
It's all flat land, hopefully.
We were the last year to have on.
It kind of takes an interstate all the way down, basically. So there's always going to be a flat place to land. It's fine.
Right.
It'll be fine.
Tarmac the whole way.
It is essentially. I mean, Illinois is basically a tarmac the whole way.
Yeah. It's a pedal.
So it's fine.
Oh yeah, I've been on lots of those. You're fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
I sometimes thought about like just taking my kids on a plane just for fun. Do you know? Like, I mean,
yes.
Like just a small plane in Illinois. Just let's go because we've got this executive airport by us. I'm like, I wonder how much it would cost just to be like, just take them up for 30 minutes.
So I wish that this flight was going out of like an executive airport because that's kind of like where it lands down south, but I have to go out of O'Hare. So I'm a little bummed that it has to be out of O'Hare, which is its own fun trip, whatever. But it's not going to be like, I was hoping like Aurora.
Oh man! All these places I've heard about on Wayne's
World. You wish you lived in Chicago. Yeah.
Dude.
Now I'm like
boy, but...
your comment of like, there's always something happening. I'm like, yeah, there really is, and it's like no big deal to do this stuff.
6 o'clock, the only 2 stores in this town closed. And you can hear crickets farting. There's nothing, which is great. I get to sit there and smoke weed, but sometimes you want to just whatever.
I bet you see a lot of stars.
Huh?
I think it's stars.
We don't have stars.
We got stars and wild rabbits, wild bunny rabbits, and hop around like kitty cats. I'll show you pictures sometime. Little rabbits, wild rabbits. There's moose and shit. Yeah, hawks,
moose,
deer, moose. Yeah. It's literally middle of nowhere. I'm like my elevation from Portland is like I'm 3 hours from the beginning of Maine into Maine. I'm way the fuck up there. I love where I live. My rent's dirt cheap because no one lives here.
Wow.
We had
We
snow
get
until
excited
literally
about
3
deer
weeks ago.
here, so like it's way cooler by you. Like we don't get
I
to see
love-
all this
Oh,
stuff.
I'm practically Canada, dude. I'm practically look up where I live. I live by Adams, Maine. That's no shit. I don't want to give away where I live because people would literally find me
I
tomorrow.
would like
My
the
town's
exact
small.
address.
Right.
No.
But it's pretty wild. It's pretty chill. I like it. I mean, it's just Chicago, man. Oh man, you guys got it going on. Mike Ditka restaurant and everything. It's fucking cool. Michael Jordan's restaurant.
There's,
But you always
yeah,
want what you
there's
don't
always-
have, right? You know.
It does get pretty quiet in the wintertime sometimes because people just stay indoors, but there's always options. But I don't know. I like it. I like it here.
Oh, you are just
Aw.
like right
Your
in the
doggy
middle
likes he's
of
rolling around.
Maine.
He's cute. Adam stalkers. Oh yes, well you don't know, man. For all either someone likes me or not likes me, and they come to my town, population 1,200. You know Adam? Oh, you mean the guy with the podcast? He lives over there. Beer. Fucking. And I get someone at my house. No way, man. I don't have a gun. I just got bats. So
I'm picturing it would be like an epic journey to get to your house. Like
I think it
car
is. I
and a
just like
plane and like a boat.
looked it up a little bit.
you gotta jump a cavern like Evil Knievel, and you gotta take a parachute down. Like, fuck yeah. You gotta really earn it, man. If you're gonna kill me, it's gonna be worth it. You gotta really make it worth it.
There should be a reality show where we trade lives for a day. And you do Chicago, and we
Yeah.
I like that. I would not know what to do if I saw a moose.
I
Or
know.
You guys have never been to any like Chicago, Illinois got country. You guys never been up North Illinois or nothing? No, doesn't
no,
it?
Northern Illinois is just
This is it.
we are
No
in
way.
Northern Illinois.
There's
So
not much
our
up there. Huh?
country is Southern Illinois.
Thing.
And So
oh.
yeah, that's our country, and they start to have an accent and everything. Like they sound like the South. I spend a
No
lot of
shit.
one of my favorite people in the world, like who I'm going to go visit. You know, when I go to Southern Illinois and take this little plane down. I have spent a lot of my life now making fun of Southern Illinois because of him. Like, 'cause he moved back. I was like, what are you going to do there?
Oh,
It's really nice,
Wow.
The kid.
Yeah. So that's where we went for the eclipse. We went down there for the eclipse. And
Oh,
so
my whole town blacked out. I got a video of it on Facebook. My whole
Oh,
town blacked out.
cool.
Street lights came on. My head. I go, holy shit! I had to pull over. I could barely see where I was going. Oh yeah, we're right in the fucking 100%.
oh yeah. So
that's
we were in totality there, and that's why like it was all
Yes.
perfect that he just got his house, whatever, you know, we were able to be there and it was
Wild.
ideal. So now like me and another friend are gonna fly down in June. Like we're calling it just like our little summer thing. Just like
You're
for
a
a
go-getter,
weekend.
Kara. I always see you on stage.
Gets
you're being an
around.
acolyte, and you're going on Route
I just do all the
66.
things.
He's like one of those go-getter.
I'm
Yeah.
exhausted
You
all the
are.
time, you
I'm
guys.
exhausted just watching.
Paige is
this.
always fucking on TikTok looking up some dude's grave. I go look. She goes, "Oh man, she's at Egon's
Yeah, see,
grave."
Paige, I feel like
I'm
Paige
like
like, is
behind the
always-
computer, like "Arr,"
Paige is
and
like in
Kara's
the
living
city
a
and
life.
like doing stuff. I'm like the city.
You guys would have a blast in Maine. We'll get going here. We get all
Probably.
7 minutes. We'll finish it off for an hour and a half. But I think you guys would have a blast. And
Can
I'm
you
not just
take
saying
your
that because I
jet,
live here.
Kara?
Yeah, we'll take my personal jet.
Taylor?
Do you? Dude, if you land in Bangor, guess what happened in Bangor?
What?
What?
2 things. When Rachel comes off the plane in Pet Cemetery, that was Bangor International Airport. And the fucking Langoliers Stephen King movie was filmed all at Bangor.
Oh,
When the big things ate the planes, that was the Bangor
I
runway
enjoyed
and
that
shit.
one.
Oh, I want to go out there so bad, but I get no reason to. But it's worth getting arrested for just to run on the runway for a minute.
I know reason to. I bet we could take a little plane into there. You know,
Yes,
just-
shit. And I'll go meet you. That'll be my reason to get in there. I know
I don't know how far
them.
we can, like, fly
I'm
that
running out of the
little
airport. I
plane.
know them. Taking pictures of the runway.
You're like, I don't care about them. I'm taking a picture
Yeah.
here.
Your plane goes by me. I'll be right there. I'll be right there. Here's where the Langoliers was, and I'm doing my video. Oh, I'm obsessed. But you guys would have a blast. There's a lot of cool. America's first Republican vice president underneath Abraham Lincoln died playing poker. Hannibal Hamlin. He's buried in Bangor too. He died. His couch he died on is at the library. There's a big sign. It says,
Oh.
"Please don't touch." And I'm on there rubbing it. He died on it. He died before Abe got shot. Otherwise, he would have been president. But he died playing poker.
Oh.
He had a heart attack in Bangor.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Oh, I'd show you guys so much shit. You fucking your head would spin. There's so much history. Of course, Maine's one of the first ones. We were part of.
It's so damn old. Like,
yeah,
it is, and that's one part of the country I just don't get to enough. And the West Coast, do a lot of the Midwest and the South.
I feel like we're just like so far away. I feel like the South is really accessible. I don't know why. Like maybe just because that's where like we vacation or whatever. But I feel like to go to New England, it feels so far, and it's not that far.
Yeah, no.
And then the West Coast is so far.
You guys see everything you need to see in your area, which is dope. And that's what I'm doing. That way, when
yeah. Like it's just like the East Coast is awesome, but we're pretty cool where we are too.
Yeah,
damn straight. You make the best of it. Everything. There's so much stuff to be. You guys must have crazy Indian mounds and stuff out there, Native American burial mounds and stuff too.
Yeah,
there are. Yeah, like more like South or West or whatever, or Michigan too. Like West Michigan does, or there's even just like a cemetery nearby that I love that has like an Indian burial mound is kind of like the start of it, actually.
No, Paige's favorite team, the Fudge Packers. They're home at Gein. Sorry, I didn't mean to call them Fudge Packers.
Yeah, Wisconsin. Well, when you said that where do like the country? Yeah, people either go to Southern Illinois or they go up to Wisconsin. And they're like, Wisconsin's creepy. Wisconsin. I spent a lot of time in Wisconsin. I lived in Wisconsin. So, but like, it's a creepy state. But ironically, Madison, where I live, doesn't really have, in what I found, a ton of like, I don't know, a ton of haunted places, I guess. But yeah.
Wisconsin is pretty creepy. You're right.
You got a lot of serial killers that came out of Wisconsin.
It's too cold and in the middle of nowhere-ish.
Isolated. It's breeding grounds. My brother lives there, so.
And you're next to Michigan, right? You're the glove. Wisconsin's like a glove, and then there's Michigan above Chicago, above Illinois, or no? You're to the right.
No.
Got a map somewhere.
So you got Lake Michigan,
Yeah.
And so I'm going to be backwards for you. So Wisconsin is here. Illinois is here, just the little corner. And then you have Indiana, the other little corner of the bottom. And then you have Michigan.
Oh, no, Michigan, Minnesota, right?
Michigan is a hand. So like this side is the Lake Michigan side when you do this. And it goes like this. So then you have the Upper Peninsula. Actually, I'm on the wrong side. Sorry, Michiganders. So that's the Upper Peninsula. Is the other hand. But so this side is like Michigan. So like if Grand Rapids, like you'd hold up your hand, it has to be this hand. So like Grand Rapids is like there. The thumb is like the Detroit side. So like Detroit is here-ish, I think. And then this is the thumb. It like is a thumb that extends into whatever their lake is, whatever stupid lake, Not Lake Michigan.
I think like Detroit's about 6 hours from us, maybe.
So it's like 6. So Grand Rapids is like 3, but you would go more through Kalamazoo to keep making it to Detroit. I lived in Grand Rapids for a long time.
Grand Rapids,
lovely.
So you've heard of the Nain Rouge, the Red Devil of Detroit? Then you have a parade about him, no? They say he used to kidnap. He was there when like shit would appear like the Mothman. But we could talk a whole other episode because we didn't get into aliens or monsters or nothing, and I wanted to.
No, we just talked about Chicago and things we do.
It was fun. We're just shooting the shit the whole time, which is cool. I like to be laid back.
That's what we like to do.
Well, I'm gonna get you both back on. I'll be on your shows soon, hopefully.
One of these days, we're going to schedule things.
Yeah, 2 minutes ago.
Sorry, anybody I've asked already. Like, we're just not, I just haven't scheduled it.
Yeah, we will.
We will.
We will.
You ladies got anything left you want to say before we go? 2 minutes?
I don't think so.
Why not?
So, yeah, most importantly, subscribe to Paraflix.
Oh, yeah.
PARAFLIXX.
PARAFLIXX. Subscribe to Paraflix. Follow Paraflix, Paranormal Plus. There's a lot of great programming on there, not just us, but also us. But there's a lot of great shows. I think
follow our names with official at the end.
Yes.
Instagram.
So Instagram, Kara Phillip Official, Paige Dalton Official, and Facebook. I think it's pretty just Paige Dalton, Kara Phillip, and Into the Obscure on Facebook and Instagram.
And Hella Obscure.
And TikTok. And Hella Obscura, is kind of where like the name even kind of came from.
Yeah.
And
So Hella Obscura is kind of the like, ghost and urban exploring kind of thing. So I'm so excited for summer to come so we can start doing things and taking pictures and going on adventures.
My girl Heather, thank you, baby girl. Nice. Check that out.
And
Hit that link, guys.
Thanks,
use
Heather.
Obscure 25.
Yes.
Again, Obscure 25 will get you a discount on your subscription.
And message him. Tell him Adam the Historian Ghost Hunter sent you. I'll get a little fucking butt kiss and I'll take it. No, seriously, you guys have been awesome. I've known Kara for a little bit. We've talked before on the show and stuff. Paige, kind of new to you. And guys, be nice to them or I'll kill you. Be cool to them. Don't fuck with them.
Exactly.
Daniel and I will kill you. Seriously, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Brandon, appreciate you checking in, giving stars like always, dude. Brandon Golding, Viper Paranormal, him and his wife, always watching every week, donating like $12 a week in stars. Appreciate you keeping my lights on, brother. Appreciate you keeping my lights on. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Keeping my beer cold, brother.
Go follow Brandon.
Yes. Paige Dalton, super mama. My girl's mother of 2, and that's hard enough with 3 boys. Christ, you need to fucking be knighted. You need to reward for that. Oh, wait, Kirby from Nesper. What's up, brother? He's on the show in a week or 2. What's up? Annabelle's caretaker with Tony Spare and them. We were talking with Kara Phillip. Watch the replay tomorrow. It'll be on YouTube, Historically Haunted. I'll make sure and tag you ladies in it. Can I get you guys back on in like a month or 2, maybe 2 or 3 months, talking about life and...
Maybe by then, by then, Spirits in the Spring will have happened, and I can tell you how long I waited to get a hotel room. It'll probably be right up to the last minute, let's be honest.
Or you can say that you slept in your car.
Yeah,
oh boy.
Also, maybe we could just, it's Broadhead Manor. Do a little plug on that. Maybe.
Yeah, yes. Broadhead Manor for sure.
Broadhead Manor in Wisconsin. Talk about creepy places. Although it's not like a creepy, it's an old school. Sorry, I know we're wrapping up, but it's an old school where this Paracon is. And it's huge. So
Bill Walter runs it.
Yeah. Yes. And Bill Walter's Facebook picture is mostly Nick Simon, so I always confuse it when he comments on something. I'm always like,
me too. Like, which one is
it's not Nick, it's Bill. Which is wonderful. Nothing against, but like I'm always confused for a second.
Where is Nick, by the way? Ugh, rude.
Where is Nick Simon?
Right?
He's not on
baby time. I know it's baby time soon. So
I could have fed him the link. He could have jumped on with us, but no, he's too cool for school.
He's usually on.
Way too cool. He always is on everything.
Larry shared it. He didn't jump on. What the fuck, Larry Eisler III, you bastard? You're on my show
cool,
twice.
though, when you have friends and you're like, when they don't show up, you're like, where are you?
Good time.
Yeah.
I love support systems. Oh, yeah, I love it.
Yeah, but no, any second, Nick is busy having a baby. I mean, his wife is, but Nick is very excited about this baby. I hope. My God. I can't wait for these updates. I'm so excited. So we're all very excited for everybody's life update. You know what I'm looking forward to over the next year? That's what I'm going to say too. Like I'm looking forward to everybody's like new adventures. So speaking of Larry Eisler, like he's setting out on like some really cool adventures, and new things and new paths. So he's going to be announcing stuff pretty soon, and he always, does some amazing things. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for Nick's baby and the adventures. I'm excited, like Aaron Thompson has some like really cool things happening.
Aaron,
like, always,
Cat, right?
cool
Cat
things.
ACG now.
And Kat, yeah. And so he and Kat, and like they live close to us. And I think he thought I was being creepy when I was like, we live really close together now, like, because he moved. We live really close. Like, we should hang out. And I think he he doesn't know the area as well. I think he really thought I was just like being weird. But then I was like, I might have to message Kat so it doesn't seem like he's trying to be like, Aaron, let's hang out in real life. And I'm like, no, I would really rather hang out with your girlfriend. Let's be honest. So one of these days we have to hang out in real life because they live so close. And, so yeah, I'm excited for all of the adventures of our friends and all of the cool things that they have going on. And there's friends I'm not mentioning, so I'm terrible. But that's what I'm excited, like in the next year, like all of our friends' adventures.
Thomas putting conventions on. People writing books, people doing conventions of their own, people stepping out and doing Flaunt and Haunt, Mary Jo, Chudley, and Rachel doing their own little fucking, that came out of nowhere like a week ago. So yeah, you're right. I think a lot of people are stepping forward and kind of, especially me doing the booking thing. I have my clients and you guys are all doing your own shit. I'm looking, it's like my own little children. Like, look at them all. Look, a new podcast. Oh, look, Carousel with Paraflix. Ooh, that was all. Yeah. I was fucking pumped. Like, that's big news because Natalie, right? She runs a big ship over there. She's well respected. Get my friend request, by the way, Natalie. I've sent it to you like 4 months ago, for Christ's sake. So, but no, man, that's cool. I'm excited. I'm excited to meet you, ladies. I'd like to get you down to Salem, if not sooner, but definitely, if not Salem in October, would be fantastic. You know, we're talking about 60,000.
Oh my God, Salem in October would be ridiculous.
Yes, yes. And I'll get you back. Oh, do you guys get T-shirts or stickers or anything at all available? Merchandise?
We have. I don't know. I don't know what's posted or whatever. Gonna be honest, my husband like hosts all that stuff, so we'll see. I don't know.
Stay
tuned.
See
what we have up. Yeah, I'll have to see what we have up. We definitely do have. They exist. I spend a lot of time wearing our T-shirts and tank tops and stuff, you know. But
that's skull
like, with the headphones. I can model
like Pages right now. So yeah, we have.
That's my sweater at all. Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah, kind of. You know what? On this lighting, it does.
Lovely paper towel in the background. The dog's ass on my couch.
That's perfect. Middle America, perfect. You don't get more American than dog fucking ass on your couch.
No.
No.
It's okay. But like now we're way over your time.
Oh, whatever. I don't really have a
You
time
keep telling us the end of the show and we're like, okay. Our final comment is, and then it's like 20 minutes later.
I don't want to like bore you guys, but if we're talking, I don't give a shit. I got nobody to be. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something too. Well, like I said, if people want to find out more about you, they'll follow your Facebook page or follow Historically Booking. I'll share and promote anything new from Kara, Paige together. I share them on TikTok. I share Paige's little journeys when she goes grave hunting and shit. And of course, Kara's always fucking dancing with someone, or Route 66 or the prison stuff. You guys are always doing shit. Daniel's always posting stuff on Hella Obscura. Very active there. So it's never boring, and I can see it going up and up because it's just, man.
Yeah.
Right?
We're not boring, which sometimes is exhausting, but it's a good time. And summer will be a lot more fun.
And fall.
And then fall. Yeah. And then, of course, fall. Like, that's.
Winter's rest season. Winter's kind of just chill.
Yeah, no, it like has been. I feel like kind of everybody kind of took their breaks and like, kind of just like took the time to restart. Like, even as we talk to like our friends, we'll be like, was this a weird one? You know, kind of, I feel like everybody kind of like really reset and made the changes to align like how they needed to. And, you know, to get where we need to get for now.
I like that about the winters here.
It's
like isolate and insulate and just kind of do your own thing. And I don't know. I find it really grounding. And then when spring and summer comes, it's just like you just blossom and open up like the flora.
Something about winter when it gets cold and dark early. There's like a snowstorm. You get a hot coffee and a research book or something. Nowhere to go and no reason to go nowhere. You're like, fucking, it's research. Yes, I just love it.
Yes, it's your time to just like shut down and kind of like, and just be. And it's amazing.
It really is.
But then the best part is when it's spring and summer again.
We do appreciate the spring and summer, I think, because we do see how we do live in the dark for quite a bit.
Right now it's getting dark at 7:30. It's like 7:40. It's like, right.
I love this time. And when you walk out and you don't have to like get ready to be outside, you just exist. It's awesome.
Oh, I know. It's not a whole ordeal to get outside.
You're not gonna warm the car up 20 minutes before you leave and shit. Oh yeah.
Your layers on and your boots over your socks over your whatever. And then times
it's fun
3
till Christmas,
kids.
and then it's like
all right. Now it's
all
like
right.
flip flop. Yep.
Yes, less is more. Short, fucking tank top. All right.
On that note, I'm gonna go take a walk outside.
I'm gonna let my dogs out. I think it's time for that.
Well, it was raining all day and now it's sunny. I don't know about you, Kara. You look like you're in a dark room, but it looks like there's blue sky outside.
It's a little blue outside still. So I'm gonna let the dogs out and then I'm gonna check the pond because I have a pond, clean the filter, you know.
I love that
housekeeping.
sign it back to Kara, by the way.
That was from the prison, but it's a reproduction. Like that was an actual, but it's not the real life one. It's just a reproduction.
Fucking morbid people. I love it when girls are fucking morbid, like tattoos and fucking just like so. It's fucking awesome. Breaks the norm. But you still love your flowers. I get it, but you love your cemeteries.
Yeah.
Fuck them. I love it.
Yeah. It's like, oh, those are Halloween
All right.
decorations, and it's like, no, those are year-round decorations.
Yeah.
Oh,
I literally, I have like such creepy stuff that I think people consider Halloween decorations are just like my garden thing.
Oh, well, I was asking one more question. What's your favorite Halloween type movie or show? One more question.
I don't like them.
What?
It's not.
Really?
I don't even really watch stuff. No,
The Shining's my favorite, and that's it.
I spend my whole Halloween just like doing the Halloween things and like going to like the haunts and stuff because like I know a lot of haunt actors too. So yeah,
Oh.
I don't really watch stuff.
That's one reason
Wow.
I do wish I wanted to date is just so I could have somebody to cuddle up with because I get scared. That's why I don't. I want to watch them, but I start 5 minutes and I can't handle it. No.
Yeah, I feel that.
Some are kind of brutal.
I
Yeah,
got a
some
big
are.
ass dog though. Good thing she'll get
Yeah,
any.
like
one
Hocus
of
Pocus
these.
is cool. It's kind of corny or whatever.
Well,
or
I do like stuff. Okay, I take it back. I do like stuff like that.
I like
yeah,
it.
I mean that's just like fun to watch anytime.
Yes. What about
It's
you?
corny in a good way. It's corny in a good way.
Yeah.
It's not like it's like fucking Mike Myers jumping out of the closet with a 12-foot butcher knife. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, slasher movies aren't my thing. Mm-mm.
No, I don't like slasher.
But I haven't given them like a fair shot either.
Yeah, I'm just not that into it.
But,
But I do like, I grew up watching Halloween. Like I always appreciated that was like a thing like I did with one of my friends. You know, we watched Halloween in her basement. But I could also totally do without it. Like I'm not like, oh, I gotta watch that.
Yeah. Like I don't even know which one that is, to be honest.
That's Michael Myers.
I thought so. Okay.
I always liked Candyman.
I just watched The Shining. I can watch The Shining by myself, kind of. Yeah, I can. I can't.
I think you can.
And
All right.
I watch that every year.
I gotta show you my Stephen King collection. I gotta show you my Stephen King collection because you'd appreciate it.
One day,
Yeah.
my kids are gonna. Oh, sweet. Oh, shoot. Am I gonna have to show you my? Oh, nice. It. Ooh.
Wow.
And I've read books. I've read the books more than I've watched.
They're all
the
first edition. All the hard copies are first edition. I paid about $20
Oh,
a piece
wow.
for most of them at pawn shop.
What?
Well, Maine's crawling with them because he's here. But you go to other places like
Yeah.
Florida, like I don't have those books here. But
Oh my gosh.
oh, puppy's
that's
waking up. Hi, puppy.
amazing.
Oh, it's
All right.
She's gonna like want stuff.
Paige, you frozen?
I know, mine do.
All right. Oh, there goes puppy. Bye, puppy. You go, boy.
No. All right.
I've robbed Paige Dalton and Kara Phillip of almost 2 hours. So I'm gonna let you guys go into the Obscura podcast. Hello, Obscura. And
No,
fuck
this
till
is
next
such a
time.
pleasure.
ladies.
Seraphina Crystals.
And Seraphina
Yes.
Crystal, thank you. Yeah.
Seraphina Crystals
Yeah,
as
follow
well.
all
Okay.
of those.
Follow all the
We might
things.
follow you back.
We
I'm gonna
might.
share that link tomorrow on the page. I'll share that link. Send me that link in Messenger page. Your link to the Crystal page, and I'll share it.
Oh, thanks. That's awesome. Yeah, because I
All
do
right.
sell like a lot of like ghosty, spooky
Yeah.
stuff, but then also the spiritual stuff.
Ghosty.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week. I think Wade Kirby's our guest next Thursday. Follow these chicks. Follow me. And have a good night, guys. Be safe, historians.